Today, I'm going to teach you how to transfer a photograph onto fabric using a cyanotype process, also called a sunprint. The supplies you will need include cyanotype chemicals. I'm using the Jacquard brand off of Amazon. You also need transparency film that will work with whatever type of printer you have. For me, I have a laser printer, so I made sure to buy transparency film that works with my laser printer. You also need some sort of fabric. I personally am using 100% cotton muslin. And you also need a foam brush. In addition to this, you will also need a tub of cool water. The first thing you need to do is to convert your photo into a negative. It's actually a very easy process, and you can use Photoshop if you have access to it, or there are several websites that you can use for free. Today, I'm using a website called Lunapic. I have uploaded a picture from my desktop that has high contrast, which is best when creating cyanotypes. Then I just clicked on filters and chose the filter negative, and it immediately converted my photo into a negative. It is super easy. So I went ahead and saved my file to my computer as a JPEG. The next step is to print your negative photo onto transparency paper. You want to make sure that you're using transparency paper that is meant for your type of printer. That way we don't get any funky printer mishaps. So when I go to my printer settings, I'm going to choose transparency from the printer type and then print. And there are my beautiful negatives printed onto my transparency paper. Now it's time to mix up my cyanotype chemicals. I'm doing this in a low light setting so that the chemicals don't react to any sunlight before I need them to. I'm using the brand Jacquard, and it comes in 2 bottles with powdered chemicals inside. At least 24 hours before you plan on doing your cyanotype, you want to go ahead and fill up the bottles with water and shake them up. Then, when you're ready to prepare your fabric, all you have to do is mix up equal parts of the chemicals from the Part A and Part B bottles. You can see that I am only using 1 capful of Part A and 1 capful of Part B, since I am only creating 2 very small cyanotypes today. After mixing those together, I'm going to use a sponge brush to paint the mixture onto my fabric. I'm using a 100% cotton muslin fabric. After prepping the fabric, I let it dry in a dark area. Once it was dry, it's time to create our cyanotype. I took my photos and I placed them on top of the fabric, and then placed some glass that I siphoned from some photo frames in my house and put that on top of them to keep everything flat and in place. You can see that I only had a small sliver of sunlight left in the day when I was creating my cyanotypes, and this is obviously not the ideal process when you're trying to do something that requires sunlight, but I was able to make it work. I had just enough light, and after about 25 minutes in the sun, you can see that the chemicals on the fabric are going to darken significantly, and they're ready to process. To process the photos, I rinsed them in a tub of cold water. I agitated the fabric for about 5 minutes and then let it dry. Over the next 24 hours, the chemicals continue to develop and they turn into a gorgeous dark blue indigo color. There are so many things that you can do with your finished cyanotype. I plan on embroidering these photos, but you can use them for quilts, for pillows, wall art. The possibilities really are endless. I hope now that you feel empowered to go and create your own photo cyanotypes.